Hello everyone and welcome back to the Good to Watch channel. My name is Moji and I'll be talking about all of that and more in the video, so make sure you watch all the way to the end. Right now, Bitcoin is still showing this short-term bullish divergence because the price is now hitting this important area of resistance, which means that more liquidations are likely to happen very soon. On the other hand, Ethereum is still repeating history here in the short term. First, let's look at the 4-day Bitcoin chart. The super trend sign on this chart is still in the red as of right now. This chart hasn't moved much in the last day. The same is true for this 2-day Bitcoin chart as of right now. Prices are still going down, with lower highs and lower lows making a descending broadening wedge pattern with resistance at around 68,500, 53,500. And if we look at this daily Bitcoin chart, we can see that we are still sitting in this area of support, which we just recently bounced off of between 56,000 and 57,000. And right now, as I recorded this film, we are about to hit this area of resistance between 60,000 and 61,000. Above 61K, there is also resistance at around 63,000, a little more at around 64,500, and a lot more between 67,000 and 68.3K. Right now, I'm paying attention to those places on the chart that show resistance and support. Before you start, let me explain what these key areas of resistance mean for the price of Bitcoin. In addition, there is often a lot of buying going on when the price hits these support areas. We also have a lot of backing down here between 51,000 and 53,000. That's how things are right now on a daily basis. We're about to hit this spot of resistance. Besides that, this chart hasn't moved much in the last day. So if we look at our Bitcoin charts, we can see that this bullish divergence has continued to happen over the last day. This is pretty much what I predicted in my last video, which was that we should see either a short-term bullish relief or at least some choppy sideways price action, which is basically a break or relief from all of this bearish price action here. To go over this one more time, this positive divergence on the 2-hour Bitcoin chart has been going on for a few days now. And since it's only on the 2-hour chart, I don't think this will last for much longer. Maybe over the next day, we'll see a bit more bullish relief, but something on the 2-hour chart doesn't usually last for weeks or months. Most of the time, it only lasts a few days before it stops being important. In the short run, that's how things stand right now. Again, the positive divergence is only likely to last for a short time, maybe just one day at most. Also, keep in mind that all of this is still happening within this bearish trend in the daily period, at least for now. We need to pay attention to some important liquidation levels. Before we go any further, I want to let you know that I do almost all of my trading on Bybit. If you want to trade any of these price changes in Bitcoin or any other cryptocurrency, I will make sure to leave a link to Bybit in the description and pinned comment below this video. You can get a $30,000 deposit bonus if you make a Bybit account through the link below this video and then make a deposit. But you have to use that link below this video in order to get the bonus. Also, if you click on that link, it will take you to this page. Right now, there is a huge lucky draw going on over on Bybit, and you could win up to $100,000 just by trading crypto using the link below this video. You might as well check this out if you're already going to trade crypto. Once more, the first link is below this movie. But for some reason, if you can't get into Bybit or can't do KYC on Bybit, there is also Bitflex, which is a similar cryptocurrency market where you don't need to do KYC. Also, as an extra coin exchange. I'll make sure to leave a link to Bitflex below this video. Having said that, a quick look at the Bitcoin bankruptcy heat map shows that there is a good amount of liquidity at around $62,000, more specifically between $61.9K and $62.1K. We have a lot of cash on hand. Along with that area of liquidity, there is also a good amount of liquidity just above the current price, at least as a YouTube video. And the amount of money in this area is between 59.9K and 60.2K. That is around that $60,000 mark. This means that the price of Bitcoin will probably hit $60,000 soon, maybe even within the next day, and a lot of these short bets will be closed. Right now, at least in the short term, those are the two main amounts of liquidity to keep an eye on. There is some downside liquidity at about 55.7 thousand to 55.9 thousand, which is just below 56,000. Still, it's not as much cash on hand as what we have at these slightly higher amounts present right now. So in the short term, it's likely that the price of Bitcoin will drift a little higher over the next day to take out this liquidity, at least right now, close to $60,000. This will continue to play out this bullish divergence, which could be happening right now as I'm recording this video, but I also talked about this in my last video. So this is what I'm expecting in the short term, a little more bullish comfort. maybe in the next day or so. Also, if you look at Ethereum over 3 days, you can see that its price is still officially in a bearish trend with lower highs and lower lows. Having said that, just for now, during the bearish trend, we're still seeing some relief from all the bad price action. Take the RSI as an example. Almost a week ago, between 1 and 2 weeks ago, got very close to oversold areas on the 3-day period. This tells us that the RSI is about to reset by showing a clear trend in price action. This chart shows levels of support and resistance that haven't moved much in the last day. This means that around 2,500 is still a good place to find support, and more help between 2150 and 2.2K. We also need to pay attention to a big amount of resistance at about 2.8K and some more resistance at about 3.2K. And if we look at the 4-hour time frame right now and compare it to what we saw near the bottom of the March 2020 crash during the same 4-hour time frame, we can still see what we're seeing. The way prices are moving now is a lot like what we saw back here, because in both of these cases we saw the price drop quickly, go down, and then quickly rise again. The price then made a higher low after a short-term pullback a few days later. A few days after that, there was a bit more of a bullish comfort. Then we saw the end of that short-term bullish comfort, and it's been pretty much ever since. There's been a lot of choppy sideways price action. The price is just staying the same here, which is a lot like what we saw back here. So for the next day or so, the price is expected to stay in this short-term range between these lows of around 2,500 and this high at almost 2.8K, so it's pretty much in that price band of 2.5K to 2.8K. We'll probably stay here at least until tomorrow. It could be a little longer, but for now, this is what I expect. And if we look at what happened next in this price action from before, we can see that it started to move into April 2020. After confirming the breakout above the range highs, we finally saw a little more of a bullish comfort later on. This meant that we were basically out of this sideways press range. That did act as resistance for a while, but once we broke through it, we were able to see the next move up. Because of this, 2.8K is a very important number to watch. Not only is that the range high for this range, but if we look out 3 days, we can see that important Fibonacci level, which used to be support, at about 2.8K. Now that the price is below 2.8K, we're basically neutral in the short term because the price is stuck in a range. But if we can see a breakout above 2.8K, we can become more bullish again, at least in the short term for the next few days, as long as we can confirm a breakout above 2.8K. Also, if we look at the price of Solana over a daily period, we can see that it is still circling this support area, hovering between $140 and $140 and $144. This is how the price was when this video was recorded. And for now, it's still possible that we could find some support right here, even though the price briefly fell below this area in the last few days. But as I just recently said on the channel for bulls, we need to quickly recover this area by seeing a move back above 140 to 144. Only then can we keep this area as support. That might be what we're seeing now, since there has been a short-term bounce from this area in the last day at least. So it's clear that this is still supporting them, at least for now, if this keeps up. We have a big area of support between 120 and 128. This is true,